Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
Pretty face like that, I can't be mad at you. An independent woman with an attitude. I could give you what you want, but you don't really need it, cause you never want for nothing. So it wouldn't be wrong to ask you to my place. If you tell me that you can't, then baby, it's okay.
Welcome today to Crimes to Remember.
Yes, we are back with another series of murders.
Oh, thanks, Mike, for that backup. It's always great to have you in the studio. I just don't know why. Anyway, so comedian Shari and Mike Adams. And of course, we got the great Neil producing as always. Say hello, Neil.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
He said it like he was like, I don't want to be a part. Not today. He's like, not today. It was rough. So today, of course, we're going to check out Chris Watts.
Yes. I actually did research that like 2 minutes ago. So yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, okay, right. He has no educational value with this story whatsoever. Great. So anyway, of course, everyone knows Chris Watts, unfortunately, for murdering his family. And then, of course, the way he went about things was ridiculous. Because I'm not saying there are any smart criminals. I'm just saying he just lacked.
Some have done.
He lacked
better.
a lot of intelligence on this one. So, unfortunately, he had been cheating on his wife, and he was messing with this female named Nicole that he had been dealing with for a period of time. And he would lie to her and state that he was in the process of getting separated and the marriage wasn't working, so on and so forth. Of course, during the time he was dealing with her, he failed to mention that his wife also became pregnant. So they were expecting their third child, which was going to be a boy. They'd even picked the name out for the child. The name was going to be Nico. So that being said, when it came to his wife, Cheyenne, she lived her life through social media. So her business was a work from home business. So she would always be on social media talking about how she was able to better herself as far as health wise and with her products. And she had 2 daughters, and she would always have them on film with her on social media. So you were able to see her daughters as infants grow up while she would do her videos. And sometimes you would see her husband in the background. And from all appearances, it seemed like a very loving and extremely happy family. So, of course, people were all at a loss when they couldn't seem to understand, like, what happened and why did she disappear?
See, that's why I like families that argue and complain. That's a real happy family. Arguing, wife and husband arguing in the real life. That's a happy family. That's how real marriages work. Marriages where people don't argue that much and never do anything too wrong. It's usually somebody plotting. That's what I believe.
Okay. So basically, your advice is just stay alert if we're a little too happy. Okay. That's
well,
understandable.
she should have been more alert. Yeah.
Really? I
Because
don't
she
think
didn't
so.
kill him. I mean, he killed her, so she should have been more alert. You know
And
what I
this is
mean?
where you go sideways.
I'm just
You
saying,
turn completely left.
you
when we
can't
told
trust
you to stay
anybody.
straight.
You can't trust anybody.
So, of course, he continued his relationship on with her. So it just so happens that one day when she was going out of town for work, she had went out of town and she didn't return until like 2 a.m. in the morning. So before she had went out of town, Chris Watts had already gotten in his mind that he wanted to end his marriage because he wanted to start a new life and he wanted to go off with the mistress. Love how they feel they're going to run off in the sunset with a chick that you barely know much about because you've never lived with her. So, of course, it seems fun. Everyone is in love when you don't live with them. I mean, that's the best relationship ever. Let's be realistic.
She's a side chick. Well, who wants to? Side chicks are not supposed to get raises and promoted out of. You're supposed to stay there. I don't understand where the confusion came along.
Well, apparently he thought she was something special. So when she comes home that night and they're in the bed and whatnot, so he ends up not only making love to her whatnot, but then when he gets out of the bed, he actually goes into his children's room to smother them both with pillows. Now his daughters were like 3 and 4, and he smothered them both with pillows and then came back into the bedroom and started an argument by saying, I don't love you anymore. I don't think this is going to work. And I really just went out. Now, her statement to him was, you leave me, you'll never see your girls again. And little did she know, he had already went in the bedroom to smother them. When she was coming home from one of her work trips, she ended up getting home at like 2 a.m. So, of course, he already knew what he wanted to do because he wanted to be free of his family so he can move on with the mistress. And when she came to bed, they actually ended up making love. Now, when they got done having sex, unfortunately, he got up and goes in the children's room to smother both the children. So he smothers them, comes back in the bedroom, and decides to tell Cheyenne, listen, I don't love you anymore. This isn't going to work. I want to be free and start over. Now, her comment to him was, you'll never see the girls again. So his statement was, I snapped when she said it. But he had just came out the room from smothering him. But he snapped, so he got on top of her. And as she said to him, don't sit on me like this. You're going to hurt the baby. She didn't really put up a fight when he started choking her. And he just choked her and killed her. Even though she said to get off of her because of the baby, you could tell it wasn't a lot of defensive wounds at all, period. So it's almost like she didn't fight him, like she just gave up, like she realized what was going to happen. The crazy part is, though, while he's choking her and she passes, as he drags her body off, the daughters walk in the bedroom, and he thought that he had smothered them and killed them, but unfortunately they had just passed out. So he was in shock by that. So, of course, he takes and drags her body downstairs, throws trash bags on the bottom part and the top part of her body, loads her in the car while the kids are watching, then puts both of the daughters in the back seat and drives almost an hour to one of his work sites in order to get rid of the bodies. So when he gets there, he takes Cheyenne out into the field to bury a shallow grave to put her in. And then as his daughter states to him, well, what did you do to mommy? He takes the blanket from Bella and smothers her and kills her. And the other child, Cece, says, Daddy, are you going to do that to me? Don't kill me. And then he takes her blanket and smothers her also. He disposes of each of their bodies in separate oil drums for his job. And the drum itself had an 8-inch circular opening that he squeezed each child to in individually. But he separated all of them. So the mother was in the field and the daughter was in one oil drum and the other child was in, oil tank, and the other one was in another one. And his statement was, they were like, well, why'd you separate him? He said, I was just so angry. I just didn't care because she stated you wouldn't see your kids again. And I just wanted to be done. I was just so frustrated. And of course, then states, my kids were my life, but I wanted out, and I wasn't happy with the fact that we had a third baby on the way. Now, people have revealed that he supposedly had cut the baby out of the mother in the end after he put her in the field, but it's nothing to state the truth with that. But it was stated because it was a shallow grave that they found her body in. And it was just unfortunate. And what alarmed people was the next day, she had a doctor's appointment that she didn't make. So her girlfriend kept calling her and then went to the house and was like, she'd never missed a doctor's appointment. So not only did he come home when the police were there with the girlfriend, and he was like, I don't know where she could be. I've been texting her all day and I haven't talked to her. And he played as if he had no clue. And then when the police get in his house, oh, this is her cell phone. She must have left it at home before she went out. What person leaves a cell phone at home nowadays? Never. Even if you're running late for work, you go back to get the cell phone. Like, I'm not going to be able to function without a phone. Like, yes, but he played it as if, then did news reports. I just want them home. I just can't even be in the house without them. It's just not the same. I don't know how. If you're out there, I just want you to come home. It's all that matters. He was like, I figured she just wanted cooling off time and a break or something. And I'm hoping she'll just return home soon.
I mean, here's the part that messed me up. How did you, after you tried to kill the kids and then they didn't die, and then you trust that enough to put your kid, if I try to kill my kids and they didn't die, I wouldn't trust putting them in the backseat. They're definitely going to off me. I know my kids. They definitely
allegedly not going. That's what you should say with that frame. Allegedly, if you try to kill your kids. Don't be saying that shit out here.
I know, yeah, basically, right. Allegedly, right.
Okay, well, yeah.
Because if one of your kids come up missing,
yeah.
Well, I just told
me and Neil
you.
will be like, so should we edit that part out? Because we already released it. I don't know what to say.
I like how you tried to rep for me. That's pretty good.
I try, my man. Try to stick up for you.
But like, how did you, I just don't understand. And then after the kids, after the kid asks you, just like, you're gonna do that to me too. There is no frustration there. Like, how can that still?
Right. I
How
think
can you still?
That's the main thing I think people have the most problem grappling with, because it's people out here that I'm talking about, that don't have enough money, that struggle and willingly struggle just to make sure their kids go without nothing. Okay?
My dad, we didn't have it. He just left. That's it. We just didn't see him again. Like, that was, you know what I mean? Just go. Like, just go.
And that's the part I think that is so disturbing, but you realize what he is, though. He's a family annihilator. And that's what family annihilators are. They're narcissistic. Not only that, they feel like they don't want to leave because you'll be devastated and struggle without them. So they feel that they're saving you from the devastation of the hurt of losing him as a father or provider. So by killing you and the mother, he's happier because now, unfortunately, he might be a widow, but he saved you from seeing him go on to have a new life and be happy, and would hate for you to suffer and be in a bad position, which to me, the fact that someone can even make sense of that still doesn't make sense to me. Like, it blows my mind for you to really think that highly of yourself, that you don't feel that she could go on with her life and that these children didn't deserve to grow up to be adults. I just can't
understand you kill the kids and the pregnant wife. Like, I don't see how you can do that.
The sad part is you realize the second leading cause of homicide in pregnant women is murder. That's homicide. The second leading cause of murder and death rates. Yes, it's homicide. And that started, the numbers were very prevalent with around like 80 something that I looked into, because unfortunately, when my mother was a teacher, there was this girl that she taught at Westfield High School, and she got pregnant and he killed her, all because he didn't want the baby. And then that, unfortunately, has rung true in so many different cases where women, might tell them that they're pregnant, and because they just don't want to deal with the responsibility, which I agree with you. Just leave. Like, just leave.
If it comes to that part, just leave.
Right.
And then take the day off. You might come back like, I want some kids. Oh, I got a couple.
All right.
And you can just go back and get with your kids. You never know what can happen. But to just kill you. I mean, I was almost angry a little bit to hear that statement, you'll never see your kids again. And then I'm going to be like, oh, he probably would have snapped. But since you had already planned it.
Thank you.
How can you plan to kill your kids?
And the sad part is, another thing that made people mad. So when he was in an interrogation room, this was his twist. He said he didn't know what happened. So then they found out he had an affair. Okay, so yeah, maybe I had an affair. Then he says, well, what really happened was, before he even he didn't decide to come clean until after he had been locked up. And the investigators asked him, and then not only that, the author who wrote his book, she had said, she wrote him in prison and was like, don't you think you should come clean for the family? And he agreed with her. He said, you're right, because I want to clear Cheyenne's name. Now, when he first went into interrogation, he stated that he came home and that his wife killed both of the children. So he had to kill her, all because she murdered the kids. Now, listen, from a woman's perspective, I would have fell for it, fam, if she wasn't pregnant with the third one. No one's carrying these kids for 9 months just for the heck of it. Like, we're in here for the long haul. Like, we already know what we signed up for. So you're trying to tell me she's got a third one on the way, but she's like, ooh, I just try to knock it down just to one instead of having 3. No, fam, that's not working for us. So then he tried to make her seem horrible, as if she had, because he didn't want to admit to killing the kids. He was okay with admitting to killing her, but he didn't want to come clean with that.
I mean, you can't. I don't understand how you could. And what about the side chick? Oh, I want to hear her. Was she like, whoo, almost blew it there? Like,
right?
You know what I mean? That whole situation.
The crazy part was they've said that she's had contact with them here and there off and on, but she changed her name and she went into hiding. And that's the sad part, because when you're in a situation like that, any attention you get, even if you really didn't know he was married, it's not going to be good attention. People are going to look at you like you were a homewrecker regardless. And not only that, he killed them all because he wanted to be with you. And they look at it like,
stock probably go up all the time.
I don't think her stock will go up. Okay, I don't want you on the Dow Jones. Okay, I don't want you investing in anything. All right, so this is where my disappointment view comes. Right, Neil, thank you. I just want to make sure I wasn't alone.
From this little point of view, like, it's like, wow, it must be good. You got the dude willing to, whoa, that's crazy.
And this is exactly
Just saying. Just another thought that's out there from another angle.
this is exactly why we have a segment of Irk My Soul because of Mike. This is the only reason why I created
just
it.
trying to bring another
right.
But thanks.
I mean,
thanks.
I'm not agreeing with what he did. I was just saying, like, there's people out there that
But he did. He finally came clean and said that he smothered him at first, went back in the room,
And
then
she had
because
no
he didn't
idea
die,
he had a family. She had a family. He had no idea he had a family.
The crazy part is he had taken her to his house before. So she saw the pictures, but he was like, we just live here because we're getting ready to get separated. And, we have to deal with the kids situation, the whole song and dance. My thing is, don't take him to the house. Secondly, this is my thing. When you see the pictures still up and you don't see an ex through somebody, I'm just saying, and all of them are in the picture happy. And I don't know, and she used to wear a shirt. This was the thing. When she announced her pregnancy to him, it was very cute. She was on one of her lives. And she had wore a shirt and it said, oops, we did it again. So when he came home from work, she was like, look, babe, she had the shirt on and handed him a pregnancy test. And he was like, oh my goodness. He's like, well, when you want it to happen, it happens.
Right then, I think he made the decision right there. I think for the camera he had to play where he was like,
it was
I think it just snapped right there.
And
I wonder if she had something to do with the side check.
People now, and that's the thing. People have had speculations and have wondered had she had any hand in it whatsoever, but it was never really any proof. Though the thing was, not only was it not any proof, she wasn't around. The thing was, she wasn't around. So this is the thing. There's no thing, how like if you do cell phone trace, she wasn't around for that. So
Also, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Neil.
Well, I'm just saying, if a woman tells you got to kill your kids, you don't maliciously try to suffocate them. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's out of him. That's something you chose. Like,
right.
if for some reason you were gullible enough and easily persuadable and distant enough, and you compartmentalize in your head, you're still like, that's a brutal strangling. Like you have to. That doesn't happen like as much. Yes, it's very very personal.
Strangling is personal. And secondly, let's be realistic. When it comes to a man with children, doggone women, the first thing women say, oh, I could be their new stepmom. You're like, calm down. I didn't leave my wife yet. You're like, calm down. You don't have to sign up so fast. So usually they would take on that. But for a woman to be like, oh, you should kill your kids and your wife. No, she never stated. But like she said, she was under the impression that he was getting separated, that they were just out. And not only that, also Cheyenne had went away on a family vacation to go visit her family for like 5 to 6 weeks. And he was going to come and join them at the last week because of work and whatnot. But he spent that 4 or 5 weeks with the mistress, Nicole, anyway. So their relationship was just getting so involved. He was with her every day. They took trips. They were doing things.
Now, she didn't take the kids with her when she left?
She took the kids on the family trip. So it was just him at home. So that's how come he was able to bring her in the house and be like, well, we're separated. But she was going for a 5 or 6 week period. So she probably looked at it like, well, she hasn't even been around. We've been together straight through. And even when she would call and he'd be at dinner, he would excuse himself or he'd end the call abruptly. But what really was a red flag was on the last night, he used a different credit card and it sent an alert to her phone that because he stated he was out. He was just going to grab something to eat. Okay, $60 meal, and that was your meal alone? Yeah, that's a hard sell. That's a hard sell for me.
I mean, I put that down, but I'm a big dude. I mean, that's a different situation.
You're like, I can do it, though. All right, well, then I want you to do it consistently. That's what you're right. See, the thing is, when you don't do it consistently, and all of a sudden you're like, but I was really hungry that day. Really? Okay, I doubt it. You've never eaten that much.
This story does, Mike, you have to admit, this is like the antithesis for women not believing. Like, this guy set it up where, like, I wouldn't be surprised if a woman never goes on vacation again. Like you're coming with me. You're coming with me on vacation. So I don't trust you anymore. This dude didn't
set us back.
He set us back, I think. I think he really
did. Did he get a death penalty?
He definitely set you back when he was on the video. Like, oh, if you want it to happen, things will happen. Really?
What is he going to say?
Okay,
He's going to say, "Oh, that's it. That was it. I'm out off you tonight." Like he could say it on the video.
Please don't be that excited. Because talk about a false sense of security. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't go upstairs and be like, let me get these, work my hands out. Make sure I got my strangle game strong. Like, what in the nonsense?
Yeah.
And it's sad to think she didn't fight as much. And
I wonder why.
But this is the thing. Come on,
He's
and I'm not being
pretty
smart.
ripped guy.
As a woman, though.
And you have your baby in you, like.
Right, but the thing is, when he's choking her, she didn't fight as much. But I can't imagine. The first thing that would enter my mind, and I'm being honest with you, would I fight back? I probably wouldn't. I would be at a loss. Seriously,
You
I
wouldn't
would
fight
be.
back?
Listen, I would be at a loss and I would be in shock that I've given you all these years, and this is how. Like, my thing is, you don't feel you can walk away. Like, you want to see me dead, and you want the children to die. My thing is, I could understand you offering me, but the children, that just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't. Like, the relatives could have took the children.
Right. Family annihilators
Family
and children
annihilators
stuff.
are the worst.
It's a very specific, like John. I think John List. I think it's John List John List is one that I had heard about. And family annihilators, Mike, if you ever, they're so self-involved. Like, they have all the narcissistic tendencies of to the extent of a serial killer, but they justify their entire family is like through them. You know what I mean? Like, you can't even exist outside of my world.
I created this family. Right.
I started you, I end you, because you can't, which I know my mother said all the time to me. But that's a different situation.
And it's very rarely a female annihilator. But don't think it hasn't happened.
Yeah.
And we'll bring that up in one of these episodes. Right, but it's very rare. Listen, to see a woman decide to kill her husband and the kids, whoa, that's you're like game over. Because if anything, you're like, you carried them. But with the annihilate, that's the thing. They're like, I don't want to see you suffer. For you to go on in this world without me because I moved on is going to be too painful for you. That is their analogy. They truly believe it. They are helping you.
That. Yeah.
Right. They've compartmentalized to the fact that I am helping you. I found someone else, and I don't want you and your mom to miss me and be upset because I know you won't be able to go on without me. So by me killing you, I'm making it easier. And this is right. I'm okay by doing this. It's justified. They definitely justify it. That's how narcissistic they are.
Yeah.
That's a weird thought. I thought maybe, he probably did it because his life is going to be probably hard. And, but to think of the other way, wow.
It starts there, really but then he starts to compartmentalize it outwards. He goes like, yeah, sure, it'd be tough for me, but think of the kids. I mean, they're going to grow up and the father, I won't be there. I won't be the father they want. Like, might as well just start over. And then just have the ability to.
The kids will hate me and she'll probably turn them against me. And I don't even want any of that. You know what? I can make it so much easier and they'll be at peace. And they listen.
Big leap here.
But the thing is, they justify it. And even when you talk to them and they say, they're like, but the crazy part is he stated to the author, he says, the best day of my life was my wedding day. But he was like, I was just so angry that day, which blows my mind that you can say that. But yeah, he said the best day of my life was my wedding day. He said, but I was just so angry. And for her to say that you won't see your kids again, you weren't going to be able to see your kids again because you were offing them. Like, that's
my only question for you, Soothsayer Shari, is what were because the one thing I know more about John List in terms of how he built up and what his specific gripe was. It was his simply just, I found a new person and I cannot move on from where I am, and that was it. Was there any problems in the marriage?
Well,
or anything indicated
they were doing well, but when he started dealing with that girl, he started to lose interest, and then she was working a good amount. He didn't always, the social media thing got to him. Like, she would always be on social media and post things. And sometimes he didn't want to be bothered. He was like, you're putting our life on Front Street, or people always have to be in our family. But what really cinched it for him was when she got pregnant the third time. He didn't want, he said he just didn't want a third child. He was like, it's going to tie me down more. And he stated, if she wasn't pregnant, then I could be with this other person. So now you're
this
like,
guy
wait,
is just
what?
Out.
Right.
Listen, my God, it's so stupid.
Right. The rationalizations that people make blow your mind. Because when you almost say to yourself, do you hear yourself talking?
Yeah,
like, you got to be joking with me. So if she wasn't pregnant, you and this mistress were going to be able to live your best life. You weren't. And the thing is, even if she miscarried, you still decided to kill your kids and her.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's what I don't understand. It would have been different had you killed your wife and you're like, you ready to raise these kids with me? Like, that's not what you said. You were I'm just going to wipe the slate. And he did. He said, I just wanted to start over. The third baby was too much. I wasn't ready for that. It was going to be a lot. And it was going to be his first son because he had 2 daughters and Nico was going to be his first son.
It's the name of my nephew. Actually, Nico. Very strange.
Yeah,
I
guess. It's sad.
I thought my dad was bad. I guess I'm gonna give him a Father's Day gift.
Yeah, I was about to say. Now, when you think about your father just leaving you, you're like, thank God. You're like, at least I made it another day. Because you're like, as long as you didn't think that you were going to just set me back by just killing me, you're like, I was able to make it anyway.
Christopher Watts, you say that?
Chris Watts, yeah.
My kids be complaining
and
about
then
me.
He
I'm
went
gonna send them this video.
So the crazy part is he went to jail and he's in jail now, but he has such a fan base This is the thing that blows my mind.
Oh my
He
God.
gets letters from women all the time.
From women. You see
Then
this?
listen, and that's the listen. So my thing is, if he was to get out and murder a second one, I really don't even feel the charges should stay.
Nope.
Because you just invited this in your life.
You like it.
Now you're
like it.
yeah, you're irking my soul. You're like, you just stop playing.
Wow.
But yes, he's gotten fan mail, and then the cell. He had a person in the cell next to him named Dylan, and they would communicate and through each other's cell vents and talk all the time. And Dylan was like, he's innocent and he's been railroaded. And they would go so hard to stick up for him. And women would too. They would just be like, oh, you're like the author that wrote the story. She got death threats. They were like, you're wrong. You're portraying him horribly. He gave the interview and stated exactly what he did. The part I can't understand is, what more do you need to hear? Like, he said what he did. He said, let me clear Cheyenne's name. She never killed the kids. I just said that because I didn't want to admit to it. And yet these women are like, no, he's innocent. He's just been railroaded. Railroaded by what? By himself? I don't.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just when you think you've heard it all.
Yeah, another uplifting.
You know,
Here.
it's crimes to remember, and we bring this to people because there are true crime fans that definitely want to delve into the stories and know the truth, and that's what we're here for.
Yep, here to bring people to fall in love and keep marriage going.
Don't be like Chris Watts at the end of the day.
There you go.
Don't be like Chris Watts or have
Go
a
seek
conversation
help.
with Mike.
Yeah,
Evans.
go seek help.
That's what I've come to the conclusion of.
Next
All right,
segment?
till next time.
Next segment?
So
Yeah. Let's do the next
We're going to
segment.
head on to our next segment now.
Boom.
All right, and back to Crimes to Remember. Now, this segment of the show is our shout out segment, where I like to highlight comedian or artist or entrepreneur, just because I like to highlight talent, and when I see it, I always want to shout a person out. So the next guest we're going to be having coming on, his name is Biff, and he's been an artist for years now, and I've done a couple different shows with him and showcases, as far as like we've had where I've done comedy shows and they've had artists perform, and I think he's phenomenal. And I definitely wanted to highlight one of his songs that is my favorite, but I wanted to bring him on and shout him out, and then also let you know where you can check his music out and play his songs. Like, he's excellent. So we're going to bring him on now, and we're also going to give you a sample of his music.
Yeah. Hey, Biff, how you doing, bud?
What's going on, y'all? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Biff. I just gave you an announcement of how great you are of an artist.
Thank you.
I performed with you in the past. So,
and was in the video too.
Yes, I was in the video. The funny part is that you mentioned
I saw that video.
The funny part is I was
Neil, we're gonna get you the video.
Unfortunately, I was bartending, and I don't know how a customer did it, but they decided to pass the phone around and be like, "We found Shari in this video," and I'm like, "Snitches, put it down."
That's crazy.
I was like, listen, I was like, people will find out anything. But yes, I was in your video, but you're a phenomenal artist, and I definitely wanted to have you on to shout you out because I love your song, Pretty Face.
Thank you. Yeah, listen, it went over a lot. Well, I ain't gonna say it went over a lot of people's head, but I feel like it still needs to be promoted regardless.
Right. And the thing is, my thing is this, not only is it an excellent song, but between your writing and the lyrics, people don't understand, like, it's an uplifting song. Like, with everything going on, when you hear a song like that, it puts you in a good mood. It does. Not only that, as a woman, you know, I'll listen to it and put my makeup on and I'll think I'm pretty. I'm not. But the song makes you feel.
Yeah, she was in here listening now. Something about the toes, with the licking of the toes. That verse right there. Yeah, slide over. You hit him. You hit him with that.
You gotta sprinkle that in there. That's what they like to hear. And
that's what it is. Okay, that's exactly why Mike's gonna get fired again today. So as far as with your songs and whatnot, where are people able to get your music and hear your music though?
Apple Music, all DSPs, digital platforms.
Okay.
Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Tidal, Pandora, Amazon. Yeah.
And you definitely have to send us a link so we can put your link up so people will be able to check out your music and know where to find it. Because I definitely want to promote your song. And not only are we going to use, play some of your song for the audience to hear it, but I'm probably going to use your song in different episodes or whatever when we're closing out.
We cool, so you can do that. Listen, any publicity, It's good publicity, like Easy
I know that's right.
But I know some people want to know, like, the inspiration for that song. You know, was that one girl that gave you that? A couple girls? What was the inspiration
He's trying to
for
get you
those
in
lyrics?
trouble.
Listen. No, I'm gonna tell you honestly, my writing when it comes down to like dimensions, it's like, okay, I listen to the beat, and then after that, I'm listening for what the beat is calling for. I'm like, this isn't a hype type beat. This isn't a party beat. This is a beat where you speak to the females. And then it's like, okay, it's like whispering sweet nothings in it, but you still want to beat and you want to make an impact to the point where like, oh my God, I want to make this what they call it now, a record that you could just keep repeating back and forth. So that's basically that's when I heard that beat instantly, I'm like, oh, this is a female record.
Okay, now I haven't heard your whole album. Now I'm definitely going to check it out. But I wonder what type of beat do you need for when I came home late, or she might have caught me cheating? Is there any kind of beat that you need that you can get us out of some things? You know what I mean? Just to help us out sometimes. If you got any of those,
Mike gets in trouble all the time. So I really don't want you to help him.
I mean, please, can the men stick together for a minute, please?
I don't know about that.
I'm gonna have to get your information and everything, and just, you know, if a situation arises, and see if I can help. Sometimes candy and flowers don't do it. You know what I mean? You need some extra to bring to the table.
I'm petty. Biff is my friend, so yes, no, you won't be contacting him.
No.
So, do you have any shows or any events coming up that we should know about?
I don't have any shows as of yet. Okay. But I definitely will be releasing new music. I could say sometime within the next couple of weeks. I have some records that needs to be finished up and getting finalized right now at this time. So I definitely look forward to releasing a project too as well. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think you're a phenomenal artist. You do. You have a lot of talent, and I've always liked you and supported you. That's why
you always said that. I appreciate. And you talented as well, so he's trying to put it all on me.
Yeah,
you are
talented. But because of the music, we're gonna say talented comedy. She's very, very funny comedy. Very funny comedy.
I'm not that funny some days.
Yes, you are.
But no, you are. You are very talented. So I definitely wanted to highlight you, and I definitely want people to check your music out. But you have to send me a link so we definitely can put that up and then promote it and all. But I look forward to hearing some more music from you, and please let us know when you're having a show so we can come out and support.
Yes, I will. And I got to tune into the podcast a lot more. I definitely do. Definitely.
Yes. Our podcast is releasing every Wednesday. Yep.
Yes.
So you'll better get the links and I'll send everything to you. But I want people to check you out though. But I definitely want to promote that. Because trust me, as God's my witness, I'm gonna make that song blow up. Okay. I'm make it blow up.
You first heard it, you was like, oh my God, keep sending that to me. I'm like, it wasn't even out. It was a preview.
Right. He sent me the preview of the song. So the minute I got the podcast, I was like, Biff's the first one. I was like, there we go. I love the song. I was like, he wins.
Congratulations, yo. No, like I said, it looks like it's a professional setup. I see it right there. I see the I can see feel the chemistry. I know y'all doing y'all thing, and that's good to see, man. Like
God has blessed us. So I'm doing very good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I appreciate you coming on our show. And I hope to hear from you soon. And please keep us in mind for one of your shows coming up, okay?
I will. It look like I'm too close, man.
We're just trying to look relaxed. That's what that is.
Right.
All right, babe. Thank you so much, Biff. And then we're gonna play some of your songs.
Let's listen to a little bit as we ride out.
All right.
Don't play none of it. Not saying that I'm playing.
That's the good part. We need that.
Right.
We need that. That's the summer.
Yeah.
But yes, we're gonna play a sample of your song, and definitely, Biff, you keep in touch.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
On you. Yeah. Now what you think I'm gonna do? I lick the plate and let you drink it like soup. What's all that talking? See that nervous on you? Treat you like the song say.
Check out Biff on your favorite audio platform by going to myurls.co/Biff. That's myurls.co/BIF.
Oh my goodness, good times. And we are ready for our next segment because we have no sense. So on this segment, Comedian Shari always likes to be like, let's vent a little bit and let's clear our head for the week to try to have a better week. So, you know my feelings. What irked your soul this week? Neil, what irked your soul this week?
Yeah, I had to host one of our shows. I typically do, but this is bad. Since I'm not on cam, I'll keep it short. But I had a drunk woman who I was telling you guys before we got on, like, the show was at 7. She started drinking at 3 at the venue. I had no idea. So we started the show and she was having a conversation with me and the people at her table the entire time. Eventually had to leave. She was so drunk. She tried to fight me in the parking lot. That was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah. She was playful, but it was sort of, she was like, nah, let me go talk to him. I talked to him. He said some stuff. And she was really fun. Yeah. She didn't like it because I pointed this irked me because I hate when people, especially if you're already drunk and typically people are drunk, they just be quiet. They start to get real down. You just kind of be quiet.
Right.
And that's fine. She kind of wouldn't let up. And she also didn't like that I said that she was trash because I called her trash. I was like, no, you're trash. I'm trash too. It's fine. I mean, you're drunk on a Sunday. You started at 3. I mean, it's fine. It's okay. But the whole crowd found out that she was with the guy who was her fiance for 4 years, but because she was still married, she couldn't marry the guy. And I was like, this is beautiful. It's trash. She got mad. Whatever. She tried to fight me in the parking lot. And then we had an older woman who was regal. She just thought she was better than the entire show. So that sucks. That really irks me. It was a bad. What's up?
Like the regal, like what was
she was someone who's been on one or two of the shows, and she has deemed that what's happening on stage is not funny. This is throughout the show. She actually hung in throughout the show. To the point where other people at her table got up to get away from her to listen to the comedy because she had just deemed, she was like shaking her head and she just wouldn't even. I was like, why are you here? Like it didn't make any sense. So it was very interesting. That definitely was my irked comedy soul, I would say, on Sunday. Yeah. How about you guys?
Mike, what irked your soul this week? Your amnesia.
Maybe Shari should go.
Did your amnesia irk your soul?
And let me see. Shari irks it every once in a while.
You can't say your kids again.
I'm not going to say my kids again.
No.
Not this time. Shoot.
I can't see just what irked your soul. Oh, that wasn't the topic. Oh, never mind. I don't want no problems for you. My fault. All right, I forgot. Never mind. Because I don't want you to play me. Never mind. We're not bringing up any conversations. So anyway, what irked?
Well, I guess what irks my soul right now is this whole water thing. The water stuff. It doesn't even make sense to me. If the water is poison, how can you not drink it but you can wash your ass in it? It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And when they give out those urgency messages like, oh, it's good till 4 o'clock so far, or oh, it's good till 8 o'clock so far. I don't trust none of it. I think all this shit is bad or it's not. Like it really doesn't. It really doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. And people out buying a whole bunch of water. Are you bathing in this water too? Like I thought everybody was having money problems, but when I go into the grocery store, they buying Fiji water by the pallets.
The part that got me was it was people or women. Like one woman stated, "I spent all my food stamp money to get the water." It's going to get fixed. Bitch, we're not in Flint, Michigan. Calm down. Like, what are you doing? Like, they didn't tell you about 12 cases. Just get some water. So now, you probably don't drink that much water.
So now you're hydrated, but you're starving. Like, what's the real difference?
12 cases of water, no food in the fridge.
I think they lying. I think it's something else that they just try to, or they really not fixing the water, but they like, we can't tell them that the water ain't fixed for 2 days. People gonna go crazy. So it's like, some people need to make it. I think we got too many people anyway. Let's empty out some houses, make some better real estate. I think that's what their plan is. I think it's the truth. They're trying to offer us. I really think it is.
Oh, also, we should say we are not scientists. I think that was evident by what you just said.
Just how I said it doesn't show intelligence.
Yeah.
So I think they can do that.
Did you say it doesn't show intelligence? Right, you hit the nail right on the head with that one. Okay. So and that's why I irk your soul. So I'm pretty sure one of your segments will be straight on me. Let me see. You know how sometimes you want to say something that irks your soul, and you be like, I probably shouldn't get a government name though, right?
No, let's not get a government
that's
name.
Probably that's probably not pleasant or whatever like that.
Just a nickname. Give him a nickname.
I can't. SpongeBob.
There you go.
So,
that's really funny.
SpongeBob.
When you know who the person is.
Now, listen, my son likes his cartoon SpongeBob, so I don't have any problem with it. But the real life SpongeBob, that's not, no waste. This the thing. You ever been so irked that you be like, I'm trying to be a decent human being and you're going to set me back? You're like, really? You're like, I don't want you to be on this podcast. Oh, but you can get on here. Like, it just, like they just text you with dumb stuff. You ever have somebody just text you and you just read the text and you be like, you're still breathing? Why? Why? That's all I want to know. Why? But like, I'm not your friend. You know we're not friends. Like, why? Just, I don't know. Like, I bet something happens to him, like hit by a bus. But this the thing. At the end of the day, it's just certain things that irk my soul. But you know what I'm going to do for next week? Well, start next week tomorrow, maybe. I'm going to like do some meditations and woo-saw and clear my head.
Nice.
And thank God that I have a waist and
Nice.
and that even my hair's not done, I'm still winning. So yeah, I figured if I say those things to myself, it'll make life better. So just to be mindful, if something happens to me before next Wednesday, I will be emailing or texting people who might have made sure I came up missing, because I don't expect people to work too hard to read between the lines, because you know me. I can show you better than I can tell you.
Shout out to all the SpongeBob shaped women out there.
Crusty ass SpongeBob having son of a.
I wouldn't be so mad. You not hurt my soul today. But you know what I'm gonna do though? For all the nice and pleasant women and good moms out there that are working hard, I appreciate you. And for those that are just miserable every day of your life, 365 days of the year, have nothing else going, but I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you to help you get your mind right. So on that segment of Irk Your Life, let's get better and have a better week. Mike, what do you say?
Let's do it.
Oh, you make me so sick. And I'm irked again.
This has been Crimes to Remember with Comedian Shari. Subscribe on YouTube at Crimes to Remember, rate and review us on your favorite audio platform, and follow us on Instagram at Comedian Shari.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of Drop 10 Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to drop10.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see Drop 10 on. We appreciate it. Go to drop10.com now.
This has been a Drop 10 Media Production.